Hello, folks. This is Brandon Chapman today. It's the TheoTrade video for October 27th. We're about 15 minutes before the market close, and the S&P looks like it might advance about 1.13%, even as gold's kind of falling back here, down 2.7%. What does this mean? I mean, obviously, we came with a trade deal or setting a framework for a trade deal coming up November 1st with China. It's helping lift the market today, and you'll see that we're seeing it namely with technology, cyclicals, and communications. Well, guess what? Those names are also announcing earnings today. As we look at, for example, Microsoft has earnings coming up on the 29th. We have Amazon, which is a consumer cyclical company. It has earnings coming up on the 30th of October. We have Meta announcing earnings here. If we look here on the 30th as well. So we got the 29th and 30th, some of the biggest names in the market. And it looks like today we're kind of catching a bit in anticipation that maybe those earnings could come out better than expected. So the question becoming, can they deliver? If we think about Mag 7 companies, that's exactly what we're talking about. You'll see Mag 7 companies are up 2.2% today, leading both technologies, cyclicals, and communications, and of course the S&P. So while we have this kind of occurring in the forefront of the market, we have earnings coming up, which is a bit an unknown. What I wanted to share with you today is what's happening beneath the surface of the market, stuff that you're probably not on your radar and probably never will be unless you change the way that you look at the market. And it doesn't have to be a wholesale change. It doesn't have to be a change that ultimately means you have to spend a lot more time. What it actually means is you're going to simplify the approach that you're taking to the market to find the biggest and best every single day. You're no longer the mouse in the maze trying to find the cheese and going to the same part of the maze every single day. Now you have the opportunity to adapt and move with the market and the pressure and follow that pressure rather than always waiting for the big breakout to occur and then trying to evaluate whether or not you want to get in or not. So let's take a look at the Ghost Print Surveillance Console. Now, what is this? This is a platform that I created for option traders who want to use the options market to determine where they're going to look and find the opportunities. Pressure is building everywhere. The question only becomes, can you see it? Now, after doing this for about 18 years and working with many, many traders on how to conduct option analysis and find the biggest trades that are occurring in the market and how to trade them, I went through a lot of process to be able to get to this point of now creating a platform, a console called the Ghost Print Surveillance Console, to be able to conduct and do this type of analysis. Because of my extensive experience, I knew exactly what I'm looking for versus a lot of stuff out there, a lot of platforms out there that try to do this. They don't know what they're looking for. And as a result, they throw everything in the kitchen sink at you every day. Thousands of trades you have to wade through. And in this, given my kind of pre-criteria, we're down to 1,600. I'm going to show you how in one click we can narrow this down to 30, 40, or 50. For example, let's take a look at the biggest block trades in the market today. I have a block trade setting up here that's going to do that. And what that means is we're looking for trades where there's 1,000 contracts or more traded in one trade. We've now narrowed the universe from 1,600 to 40. Good luck finding anything out there that can do it with that ease and simplicity and accuracy. And you'll notice we got calls and puts in here. We have an identifier that tells you whether it's a spread or not. And you'll see that it's filled at the ask or near the ask. So that's near the ask or below the ask. That's at or above the ask in this one. And so the idea is we're focused on stuff that they're buying, option contracts, calls, and puts today. Now, if I want to look for just calls or puts, I can make that decision there. If I want to focus on a certain amount of volume, I can sort there, for example, and kind of go through it. On the right-hand side, I can sort by alert time. And so if there's a new trade coming in, like BBAI, for example, just coming through at 342.51, that's Mountain Time, or Eastern Time rather, buying puts today, buying XLU, buying 92 calls, 4,500 contracts. That's a big boy trade for XLU. This is now going to be easy for you. Here's a new one just coming through on IBM here. This is now going to be easy. It's going to be easy to go through 41. I want you to find 10 every day. Set up 2 to 3 trades. Take 2 to 3 trades a week. This is a formula that will help you find success, right? Executing daily and finding trades to execute weekly and manage. And so the idea being is this allows you in one click to be able to find the biggest and best every day. But guess what? A new feature we also introduced, as in addition to the block trades, is our squeeze bar. So I'm just going to reset our filters. We're going to focus on squeeze bars. And I'm going to show you here, if I focus on stuff getting filled at the ask or above, or at the ask, below the ask, at the ask, or above the ask, this is going to allow this to rise to the surface. What we're talking about in a squeeze bar are stocks that have huge squeeze potential. What does that mean? It means that a stock can go up just by virtue, or down by virtue of the options market and the trade that's going on there. But a stock can also go up because a large number of shares have already been sold. It's called a short. And if you squeeze the shorts, they have to cover and buy stock. This can create massive moves in otherwise stocks that are pretty bad companies. For example, let me show you Beyond Meat here, BYND. We had a huge move here, over 1,000% in a couple of days. One of the Ghost Prince members traded this for over an 800% gain. I wish I took that trade. I didn't, but it popped up on the console on October 17th. You saw the pressure building before the move actually occurred and provided an amazing opportunity. Was Kohl's about to experience that today? Possibly. It hasn't moved a lot yet, and yet maybe there's stuff going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. 3,500 contracts. Well, let's look at the biggest today. In this case, NVIDIA trading over 200,000 contracts. Did you see a 23,000 contract print? So again, the idea being is you can quickly isolate and identify the stuff that has the biggest gamma squeeze potential. Click on the squeeze bar setting here. You're seeing the stuff that creates the biggest squeeze potential. What about Hertz today? Well, Hertz is a stock that has high short interest. It's had its troubles. But guess what? Today, you're seeing 3 different call strike prices being bought, call options and strike prices, 550, 10, 8, at thousands of contracts at a time. Well, what's another one? We go back to the list here. What else? We got Beyond Meat, RXRX. Are they back at RXRX? Let's take a look here. So RXRX, what other types of trades? We got one today, 9,300 contracts. This has very, very high squeeze potential. Why? There's a lot of shares that have been shorted. As a result, it takes time to cover those shares. The impact on the price can be substantial. This is what we're talking about today. Now, I'm going to share 2 specifically that I found really pretty interesting. So I'm going to sort by vol alert, and we'll kind of see in here some stuff that may kind of rise to the top. I got to go to block trades to kind of simplify here. Huntsman, right? Huntsman's a moderately impactful stock in terms of the squeeze. But remember, there's also the gamma squeeze. This factors in the short squeeze potential. This is the gamma squeeze. You'll see 49,000 contracts traded on Huntsman, and we just expanded here. Is that the only one here? We can reset all filters. We can look at Huntsman here and see, okay, how many are there? Well, we have a call that's bought and a call that's sold for December 19th. Sold doesn't mean anything, but call options being bought is. And so what we have here is 49,000 contracts traded, mostly bought. And if we look at the current position of Huntsman, we'll see this stock's just barely coming up support and earnings are upcoming. This looks pretty innocuous. It's in a downtrend. Is this something you're going to touch? When you see this level of activity coming through and we see it's occurring at the $10 strike price, this creates a level that can facilitate significant moves. Our gamma level is 10. If we can get 2 and through 10, we could see a massive move in Huntsman. What's another one here? So we go back here. So easily we can find Huntsman, massive trades going on there. Anything else in here? We could go down the list. There's 1,145. Let's go to block trades and narrow it down here, right? Now we're down to 41. And so we look at vol for the day, for example, ASST, 83,000 contracts traded. And over here, 10,000 contracts. That's a big block trade that came through on ASST. That's how we got the trigger. So let's go back and take a look at ASST. This is the $15 strike price, by the way. I'm going to reset my filters. Let's look at all the activity that's showing up on ASST. Look at all of this trade occurring across all these strike prices. Let's focus on the stuff being bought and let the cream rise to the top. Notice predominantly we're seeing a massive amount of calls being bought today, and the vol alert, we'll see the thousands of contracts, 10,000 there, 17,000, 18,000, 15,000. We can sort here again. We have the 182,000 contracts there for October 31st. When we see this level of activity, we have levels, right? $2, $2.50, $3. When we breach these levels, it just pushes the price further. We have the gamma, we have the short squeeze indication, and we have the gamma squeeze indication, basically hedging, buying stock to reduce upside risk because market makers have to sell calls. But again, we see this $2 strike price, $2.50, $3. We have all these near strike prices, and then we got that wild pie in the sky at 15. I'm going to show you why 15 may not be entirely out of consideration. So we look at ASST here. Again, a fairly innocuous move. Big move, 47%. Earlier, this was up like 30-something%. But what's the potential here? Again, this is a stock we're going to analyze here. What is it? It's an investment manager. Does this stock really have the capability of going to 15? Well, 15 seems a little bit out of range, but look, in the past, this stock's gone from 59 cents to 13 cents, from 3.55 to 10, from 3.05 up to 13. The thought that this could potentially go to 13 is not exactly out of the realm of possibility. It's done it twice from about this current level in the last 6 months. So now we have a big print today. They're buying the 15 calls up here. They're also buying the 2, the 3, the 4, etc. This creates a multi-stage rocket where this stock breaking 2 may cause a squeeze to 3 to a squeeze of 4, and we could see even bigger moves here. This is what you're seeing back here. This is the effect of shorts covering, as well as a gamma squeeze just caused by the option trade that's going on. So we'll have a chance tomorrow to see, okay, how much of this 31 oct at 150 and at 2 translates to open interest. Okay, how much of this translates to open interest? And as we build open interest, and we know from the outset we're seeing buying activity, this creates additional pressure called the gamma squeeze. And then as the short covers, guess what? This creates these massive, massive moves. And this is something in ASST today that looks really, really interesting as a potential big moving stock. And again, we've experienced about 3 of these moves, 4 of these moves over the course of the last 6 months. Are we about to see the next? I'll guarantee the stock probably was not on your radar today. Why? Because you don't have the visibility to see the activity that's occurring behind the scenes. Maybe you saw it because it's up 30 or 40% today. You'd have to really turn your attention specifically to a stock like this. But again, every single day, you can isolate the biggest and best trades that are occurring in the market. Is it Krispy Kreme? Is it RXRX? Which is the next stop, the stock that's about to make the next big move? And that is the market closing. So we got a wrap here. So folks, again, just wanted to point out the new additions to the Ghost Prince Surveillance Console. You can contact our white glove, our concierge team at 623-244-5657 if you want to know more about the console and Ghost Prince membership to try to be able to leverage the activity that's occurring just beneath the surface every day in the market. And guess what? We have a masterclass coming up where we're going to talk about the squeeze bar, the block trades, and capitalizing on these types of moves. We call them lotto trades. It's going to occur on Friday. Again, we're talking ghosts on Halloween. What better day to do it? At 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. Contact the concierge team. They'll be able to get you registered for that class and gain access to the console. Anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure. See you back next week. Thank you.